Hey, what is going on guys, and welcome back to another Iceborne video. I'm really excited to bring you guys today's video, because these are some sets that I have been working on for quite a while, and I finally have them optimized enough to show you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. These are all going to be Divine Blessing secret builds, which is the Gold Rathian 2-piece set bonus. This uncaps Divine Blessing up to level 5, which gives you a 50% chance to take 60% less damage on every hit. All that means that this procs quite often, severely hindering the effects of a lot of devastating monster attacks, which feels amazing. For our main build today, we're going to be using the Beta Rajang helmet, slotted with a Challenger plus 4 jewel and an attack jewel. The chest piece is the Golden Loonmail Beta Plus, slotted with a Flawless Medicine jewel, a critical jewel, and an attack jewel. The gauntlets are the Ruinous Vambraces Beta Plus, slotted with a critical Vitality jewel and an expert jewel. The coil is the Golden Loon Coil Beta Plus, slotted with a critical Vitality jewel and a Tenderizer jewel. The boots are the Garuga Greaves Beta Plus, slotted with a Flawless Vitality jewel, a Sharp jewel, and a Flawless jewel. And the charm is the Master's Charm 4. As a whole, this would give you maxed out Critical Eye, level 5 Divine Blessing, 4 levels of Agitator, 3 levels of Attack Boost, maxed out Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, and Peak Performance, 1 level of Recovery Up, and Protective Polish. With max Health Boost, you are already pretty resilient, but add on the fact that half of the attacks that hit you will deal less than half of the damage they would normally do, and suddenly you're close to unkillable without sacrificing any DPS in your set. You have max Peak, which should be super easy to maintain considering how little your health will be hit, and you have 4 levels of Agitator and 3 levels of Attack Boost, plus you have max Crit Eye, Weakness Exploit, and Crit Boost, which, provided your weapon of choice has passable enough sharpness, gives you 100% crit chance. You also might have noticed that I didn't take into account the slots on the weapon or the weapon in general. That's because this set is more or less a template that you can modify to fit whatever weapon you want to use or whatever you like. If your weapon is elementless, you can just swap out a level of Peak for a non-elemental boost. Does your weapon have a lot of natural affinity? Well, you can replace them with a Crit Eye Decos for an attack jewel. Are you using Greatsword? You can swap out Peak for focus. Does your weapon need sharpness to get to white or purple? You can swap out Agitator for handicraft. Does your weapon have slots? You can put in some more Agitator or even slot in something like Coalescence. You are free to do whatever you want. My personal favorite thing to use with this set is the Hellish Slasher Longsword, which has a bunch of white, which means I often only need to sharpen like once, and since it has a level 4 slot, I can swap out one of my Flawless jewels in the boots for an Elementalist Deco, and then I can slot in a level 4 Peak jewel on the weapon itself, which lets me get away with 2 levels of recovery up instead of just 1, which keeps me pretty topped off in terms of health. I highly suggest that you have your weapon augmented for health regen, since you'll run Peak pretty often with this set, but also because it'll make your gameplay pretty brain dead. You already barely take any damage, and you can just heal back whatever attack doesn't get affected by Divine Blessing, and you can also pretty much instantly heal back whatever damage you do take when Divine Blessing procs the little chip by just 1 or 2 attacks. Also, if you can, augment your weapon for a defense boost. This actually gives you a secret, separate level of Divine Blessing that works independently from the actual skill, and it can stack with the actual Divine Blessing that you have slotted for. So sometimes you will literally take like a pixel of damage when you get hit because they both proc at the same time. But most importantly, whenever your Divine Blessing doesn't proc, this still has a chance to proc, which is super useful. Now, because Divine Blessing is a 2-piece set bonus, this means you can be very flexible and mix it in with a bunch of other skills. For example, if you want a truly brain-dead experience, you can even slot in max earplugs. For this, I use the Earplugs Charm 4, and I slot in an Earplugs Vitality Deco into the helmet, which lets me keep Agitator 4, but only 1 level of attack boost and Peak, which is really good for Insect Glaive. If you don't like using Protective Polish, you can use Teostra gear and have both Divine Blessing Secret and Master's Touch. I only recommend using this version of the set with a weapon that has decent enough sharpness already, so that way you don't have to spec for handicraft and sacrifice too much damage for it. And finally, another way you can work Divine Blessing into a 2-set bonus build is with Free Meal Secret. You guys already know how much I love Free Meal Secret. I even made a whole video about a build I made with it. I'll leave a little card for that video at the top right hand side of the screen. You guys should really go check that out. Ever since that video came out, they did nerf/patch the Brute Tigrex helmet, which gives you 2 levels of free meal instead of just 1, but all you have to do to get Free Meal Secret 3 with that build is just to slot in an extra Satiated Jewel, so you have Free Meal 3. It's not a big deal. that set is still insanely good and I use it all the time in Guiding Lands, so go ahead and go check that out. But for this set with Divine Blessing Secret and Free Meal, I just used the Gold Rathian Beta Helm and Chest, the Beta Brute Tigrex Gloves and Boots, the regular Tigrex Beta Coil, and the Master's Charm 4. As a whole, this one gives you max Crit Eye, Divine Blessing 5, max Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Free Meal level 3, 2 levels of Agitator and Attack Boost, and Protective Polish. Well guys, those are my Divine Blessing 5 sets. I hope you guys liked them. If you did, or if you found this video useful or entertaining, then please drop a like, as it really does help me out. I would like to thank my patrons for their continued support. A link to my Patreon and my Discord is in the video description, as always, and I would like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.